up, everyone? Happy almost FOMC meeting day tomorrow and today's CPI day, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. And today, like every day, we're coming at you live from our studio in the heart of my heart and Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you. With our daily live show. Today, we are talking multiple things. Sam has been arrested. He's going to be extradited. Also,
I've been singing the Akon song all day yesterday.
Got locked up. They won that. Well, he's not technically locked
bro,
up.
I was literally Christmas shopping last night, and I was singing the Akon song.
Yeah, I can't imagine what you're singing sounds like. But anyways,
locked up. You won't let me out.
Anyways, he's not locked up yet. Well, I guess he is locked up. Right?
He is locked up.
He is locked up. So, also, CPI numbers came out. Beating expectations. We're almost under 7%, guys. Not just yet. We'll break that down. Also, the FTX hearing is going on. We have some highlights from that. Also, $2 billion in withdrawals from Binance. What is going on? We're going to talk about that and much, much more. But before, I'd like to introduce you to your other co-host, Big Rob.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information and package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we like to evaluate the price of Bitcoin, which is at a new short-term high, which is at 17,700. Which you know what that means, right? Rocco, bullhorn sound. Let's go.
Boom.
That's right. Excited, man. You think the bottom is in?
No. I don't know, actually.
Well, here's the thing. CPI, favorable. Fed meeting tomorrow, probably going to be favorable because they leverage their decisions off of the CPI numbers. And so if we have a good month and no other big collapses, bottom's in. Bottom's in, bro.
I don't know. We'll see. I want to kick off today's show with some good news.
Oh, yeah?
Sam Bankman-Fried has been arrested in the Bahamas and charged with wire fraud and conspiracy in the United States of America. Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested Monday based on charges filed in the U.S. The federal charges include, let me expand this. Federal charges include 7 counts, which include wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud against lenders and customers, conspiracy to commit securities fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering, and violations of campaign finance laws. Also, on top of that, the Securities and Exchange Commission, aka the SEC, aka Gary the Gun, said following news of the arrest, it had authorized separate charges relating to Sam Bankman-Fried's violation of securities laws. So a lot of laws have been broken, and the man here, I don't know, he's going to jail, right?
Hell yeah.
So you know how this all came.
Unless he's found innocent.
You know how why this all happened, right? Tell SBF I want to know it was me. You guys know what movie this or what show this from?
No idea, David. What movie is that from? Show is that from?
You know what it is.
I know what it is as well.
If you don't know, Game of Thrones.
You know, I'm a man of savvy Photoshopness, and that was a botched job right there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't make one.
Hey, but they like.
Okay, so he's not. He was supposed to testify today. Well, we're gonna have that breakdown too here in a minute. Supposed to testify today in front of the House. He declined testifying tomorrow in front of the Senate. But if things happen the way they should, he should be testifying regardless. Just not today and not tomorrow. Do you think now there's a lot of stuff going around, Robin? People are saying how convenient that after 3 weeks, almost a month after this whole thing's been uncovered, nothing's happened. And then the day before, on the eve, twas the night before the congressional hearing, and all through the House, the Bahamian government knocked on his door and arrested him. Is that just coincidence? Is it bad timing? Or is it a conspiracy?
Well, if he wasn't in jail right now in the Bahamas, he would be testifying in court for the congressional hearing for the collapse of FTX. Oh, is the timing of that suspicious? Hell yeah, it's suspicious, man.
I bet you.
Was it Maxine Waters? Maxine Waters was like, hey, he's going to testify tomorrow. Let's get him right now. We don't want him to testify, right?
Or Sam's parents facilitated.
Oh, that's a good narrative. I didn't think about that.
Sam's parents are like, just go into custody. We'll figure it out. They already hired the lawyer. They hired the Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend's lawyer, who also represented, I believe, it's.
So
this is going to be such a great documentary, guys, and movie. I'm telling you, it's got everything you need.
So a couple things. Well, one, do you think he will, quote unquote, get sick or commit suicide in prison? Because if that happens, bro, I lose all faith in sound theories, and I am going full conspiracy from here on out, right?
I mean,
if dude doesn't make it to trial for whatever reason,
yeah,
and this is all speculation. If dude don't make it to trial for whatever reason, I will no longer believe in any congressional truths, right?
I think there's too much. Okay, I think people are too aware of that whole situation, right? To where if that's really happening, right, where they're offing people who can expose them, which I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying if it is happening.
I mean, Epstein was in the same boat.
They would be extremely stupid to do that because every single person would be saying the same thing you're saying.
Well, the same thing you could say about Jeffrey Epstein. He had to be party with all the politicians, former presidents. I mean, and dude just was not suicidal. And he killed himself. And
change nothing. It would be just another guy disappear.
I just think people would be like, yo, this is ridiculous. We need an investigation. And then I think after 3 weeks, it would be a non-story anymore as far as in mainstream media. That's the way certain things work. And so part of me just doesn't believe he'll make it because, like we said, the timing that he gets locked up right before he's supposed to testify. And I'm telling you, man, the guy has all kinds of friends and partnerships and buddies and deals and
not only
and
him,
donations that went to politicians,
his parents.
And if he were to testify and were under oath, was asked about some of these donations and some of the friendships that he had in office, I think it would have been a stain. And I'm telling you, he was locked up for hush.
Robin, it's not just him, though, dude. It's his parents. I mean, look, here, Exhibit A. Sam Bankman-Fried's parents received payments from FTX. I'm telling you, dude, his parents, I bet you they had a bigger role in this entire situation than people think or people know. Also, shout out to Overcome for the $1.99 super chat. Just said nothing. Just wanted to give us money. Thank you.
That's cool, man. We love the
money.
I was gonna say the community, but sure, why not? We love money too here.
I know what to do for Christmas.
Money makes the world go round.
It's 25 days of Christmas here. We're on day number 13. All right, so I do want to give a little love to the chat. I know we've got some new people from BitBoys around the blockchain yesterday, which David went and represented there yesterday.
And won.
You won, huh?
Yeah, if you were expecting Robin and were disappointed, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, we were doing the poll last night and literally flipped right at the end as we were going. Well, technically it was 50-50. And so I was like, well, the poll was 50-50 when we were all said and done. And we sent your boy out there.
No lie, you paid
mercenary over here. He killed it, man.
You paid me $20.
That's right. So some of the new people. So if you're new here, say hello so that way we can drop on an Ola. And that's Ola without the H. We got Andrew, Timmy, Jonathan, Suarez. We got Ivalov, Crypto Hands, the world's lowest, FOMO Sapien. We got Merce Tuzlik, Lance and Troy Westbrook. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Someone said, Lance said, hola from Rainbow and Warm Springs.
Oh!
That's, that's not too far from our studio, man.
Yeah.
Come on down.
If you're not creepy or weird, we'd love to extend an invite to come hang out with us in the
You gotta
studio.
pass the creepy
Definitely don't be
test.
creepy. and
You
weird.
got to pass the creepy. You know what? We were just throwing out invites here to the studio, and then came across a very interesting individual that we did not want to have in studio, so we had to cancel his invitation.
Yeah.
So if you pass the creepy test, speaking of creepy tests.
Are we showing that right now?
Did you get the
Yes,
button?
let's go.
No.
Okay.
It's part of.
Okay, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sure people know.
There's a lot of creepy stuff out there.
Look, let me pivot to Gary here, okay? So Gary's under a lot. Of course, I'm speaking of Gary the Gun Gensler. If you're a member of our channel, throw your Gary Gensler emoji into the chat. If you're not and you want to support the channel, the link's in the description. He's been under a lot of heat, under the microscope. He met with Sam twice now. Apparently, his schedule, his meeting calendar, people can't access it, or it's not there, or it's incomplete. He's catching a lot of flack from politicians saying, Gary, you're saying the laws are in place. Why did this happen? How did this happen under your leadership when you met with the guy multiple times? And now, looks like Gary, first of all, looks like he hasn't got a haircut in a while. Second of all,
He has hair?
he said, we are ready to take action against other crypto companies violating U.S. securities laws. How freaking convenient, bro. You think Gary's going to get in trouble?
No.
No?
This guy.
No.
I think he'll be forced to resign.
Will he be forced to resign? Sure. Well, will he see any criminal accusations? Will he? No.
No?
No.
What does a chat think? Chat, put a 1 if you think Gary is going to face. What is he going to face?
Criminal accusations. He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be found guilty.
Is he going to be in trouble legally? Put 1.
Will there be charges brought up against Gary Gensler? Put a 1 in the chat. If you think the dude's gonna fly high on his horse, do horses fly? Pegasus, maybe, I don't know. But
Pegasi.
Pegasus. So if you think he's gonna fly high on his Pegasus and escape all accountability when it comes to FTX, put a 2 in the chat.
Curious.
Mhm.
All right. Why don't we cover? So CPI numbers came out. I don't even know what to go with. Should we do FTX hearing or should we do CPI? They're both juicy.
So one last thing on the Sam Bankman before we leave. Did you hear that as soon as SBF got arrested, he said that, or his lawyer said that the Bohemian government wanted him to launch a crypto token and generate a bunch of money and then transfer money to the Bohemian government.
We have some.
Are we covering that as an article?
Well, no, there wasn't an article, but there was, there was some shady stuff going on with the Bahamas, printing tokens, funneling money. We'll cover that. It was part of the hearing. We'll cover that. But that specific thing, no, I didn't see anything on there. But
yeah, I'll pull up the.
You know what, chat? Would you like us to cover the FTX hearing now, or would you like us to cover the CPI numbers now? I'm curious. I want to vote because I'm split down the middle. Rocco, what's your vote?
I vote for
Barbecue chicken pizza. Perfect.
FTX.
Kyler, what's your vote? He wants to cover the hearing, he said. All right, FTX hearing if it's live. All right, we're not gonna funnel in the live stream into our show, but we will go over some of the highlights. So the first thing I want to go over is Mr. Bob McHenry, who will be the next chairman of the Financial Services Committee in the House of Representatives. He had this statement to say at the FTX hearing today.
It's nothing new. We've seen it before. In the late 1800s, when the Union Pacific purposefully inflated the price of railroad construction to line its executive pockets, Or in the 1900s, when the con man George C. Parker was arrested for illegally, quote unquote, selling the Brooklyn Bridge, Madison Square Garden, and the Statue of Liberty. And in the 2000s, when it was revealed Enron engaged in a massive corporate fraud and corruption, sending shockwaves throughout the business world. There are many comparisons you can draw between each one of these pretenders and the alleged actions of Mr. Bankman-Fried. It appears to be the same old-school fraud, just using new technology. But it's important to note, and I think it's very important to note, we still use railroads, we still buy and sell real estate, and we still rely on businesses to provide services. We have to separate out the bad actions of an individual from the good created by an industry and an innovation. So let me be clear. I believe in the promise of digital assets and those around the world building on blockchain technologies. And that's why I've worked and will continue to work to provide clear rules of the road for the digital asset ecosystem here in the United States. And that's how we protect American consumers and investors in this marketplace and allow innovation to occur here in the United States.
I mean, could anyone have said it any better than that, honestly?
Yeah. And just to kind of echo what we've been preaching here over all of this debacle with FTX, and I mean, you can even backtest it to Celsius and Voyagers that the cryptos themselves, the blockchain, the technology, decentralization, none of that has been compromised. Ethereum works perfectly fine. Bitcoin works perfectly fine. Layer 1s work perfectly fine, with the exception of a few smaller projects having bridge hacks and things of that nature. Crypto has not been compromised in the slightest. And all of the FUD that has been going around is all due to the centralized entities that are working as intermediaries between the consumer and the crypto. And so you're entrusting a company essentially to hold your crypto, and they're just being nefarious with it. They're spending it. They're not holding it accountable. They're not holding themselves accountable, and they're not doing what's ethically right or criminally wrong. And they're stealing your money, and that's it. And this isn't a problem with crypto. It's a problem with the centralized entities. And
it all comes down to people, man. Like, if you have it in you to defraud people, whether you use cryptocurrency exchange or something else that's already heavily regulated, you're going to find a way. If you have it in you to hurt people, whether guns are outlawed and you can't buy a gun at a store, you're going to find a way. So it just like Representative McHenry said, it's not about the technology. It's about the person behind it. And no matter what you do to the technology, you try to regulate it to death, bad people will do bad things no matter what. And so I think that's what people need to understand. I want to draw vast differential correct. I don't know what the hell I was trying to say. I'm going to draw. So we saw Mr. McHenry.
I'm the foreigner one, okay?
Yeah, I'm also a foreigner. I was born in Sweden.
The vast size of this word I'm about to say.
That I have no idea. I wanted to give a shout out. Someone gave us a super chat, $2. It was
Mike Reinhardt.
2024, 2025 bull run will be epic. We hope you'll be here with us, my friend. We agree. So we have Representative McHenry, who seems to understand crypto and takes it serious. And then we have Representative Mr. Cleaver. And just, he's at a hearing with his congressional friends and coworkers and colleagues. And we're talking about possibly the biggest fraud in American history. Millions of people have gotten scammed, and the man's finally been arrested. And here's his hearing. And this is what he is focusing on. Quite interesting, guys. We have a bright future ahead of us. And Mr. Cleaver, we thank you.
I wonder if you would support a resolution that I've been thinking about introducing, changing the name of cryptocurrency to creepy dough currency. I'm going to discuss this with my colleagues.
Creepy dough.
I think it's an appropriate name. I just wanted to know whether you would support.
That's a good name, man.
Changing it to creepy dough.
Okay, stop the video.
I'll leave that skill set to
Okay.
So,
Guys, if you want us to change our name to Creepido, Sin City Creepido, put a one in the chat. Sin City Creepido. It's got a nice ring to it, right? It's kind of like pizza dough, but a little more creepy.
Oh no, creepy dough with a barbecue chicken pizza.
Yeah.
Creepy
So,
dough.
Sin City Creepido.
that is
We are an
literally
entertainment
the
focus.
dumbest fucking thing. I am sorry, but what? I mean, you should be embarrassed. You, Mr. Cleaver, should be embarrassed. Like what?
It's okay. Doesn't know. He doesn't know any better.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's waste everyone's time and talk about nonsense and ask the guy who literally has no idea about crypto, probably doesn't give a crap about crypto. Hey, so I've been really thinking about to bring it up to my colleagues. It's going to be the next law we pass, but we should rename crypto to Creepy Dough.
Yeah, that joke fell pretty flat.
Terrible.
I'm sure he rehearsed that one at his local barbershop. Like, Martin! Creepy Dough! It didn't hit as well.
All right.
Let's move on.
So here's another revelation, apparently, that we found out. This is a tweet from Wall Street Silver. What is wrong with FTX using QuickBooks? Okay, so
Are they using QuickBooks?
They use QuickBooks, a multi-billion-dollar company using QuickBooks.
QuickBooks?
They use QuickBooks.
look at the
Hey.
smirk on his
Hey,
face. This dude, this is probably why. Okay,
Did
you have a guy
did they
like
file their taxes with
I
TurboTax
think
too?
you have
That's
a
the
guy
best.
like John Ray, okay? You have a guy like John Ray who's been in the corporate landscape for a while, probably doesn't know anything about crypto, and his first in-depth introduction is this. And so of course he's going to laugh because he thinks it's a complete joke. Like, is JP Morgan Chase using QuickBooks? Is Bank of America using QuickBooks? Is freaking Charles Schwab using QuickBooks? No.
But it's the pro version.
they got
got
their
the
corporate version.
The upgrade one is $199 a month.
Like,
Securing they were trying to manage $80
How do you
billion.
not- how do you not
Okay,
laugh?
at the height, FTX was valued at $80 billion, and you're using software that costs $150 at Walmart, bro.
Use a TurboTax one.
You know what I'm saying?
And I
You're
got
using
it.
software from Walmart to manage a $60 to $80 billion company valuation. That's I don't understand how none of this came to light during the before the collapse, right? I mean, you figure there'd be like one employee that used to work there, be like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you should use FTX, man. I worked there for 3 weeks, and they use QuickBooks."
you know, I don't even think you should look into crypto at all.
Yeah.
Uh,
I do want to. I know. To kind of circle back to what our super chat was saying earlier, and that was
Right.
Mike Reinhardt. So, guys, I know we're sitting here covering this stuff because you know what, it has big implications in the short term price. It has giant implications on the regulation moving forward. And so it's a topic. It's something that's extremely important to our industry. However, end of the day, man, you like crypto, you're in the right spot, man. We're in the bottom of a bear market. What a better time to get in now. The technology is revolutionary. It's going to change the world. We're going to replace a lot of outdated systems. And even in the worst doom and gloom scenario, hey, man, stable coins are going to replace pretty much everything that moves internationally between corporations. It's cheaper and faster. And blockchains are going to power that. So you're in the right spot, man. Just sitting here in the chat, sitting here watching this every day, you are miles ahead of everybody else. And so I just want to say, don't get discouraged because of the failures of centralized entities, because, man, we're going to be the one laughing last. Because right now, I feel like when you talk to somebody about crypto and they're not degens like us, They're just like, huh, Bitcoin's down. I'm like, yeah, so is Facebook. They're down 80%. Airbnb's down huge. Airbnb's down like 70%.
Tesla's down almost 70%.
Yeah, and it's comical that if people don't, I was talking to somebody yesterday about this. If people don't physically have skin in the game, they're just quick to dismiss.
I think it's a lack of understanding, dude.
Yeah,
lack of education, lack of understanding, lack of excitement. I don't know about you, but when of course we all get into crypto because, someone says, oh, I made this much money on Bitcoin. So you're like, oh, I want to make this much money. And then that's kind of what happened with me. Got in late 2016. And then when the bear market hit, end of 2017, going into 2018, I stayed. I stayed because I was intrigued by the technology. And so, but a lot of people don't do that. We had a guy came in here one time. He told us that as soon as crypto started crashing in the bear market of 2017, 2018, he deleted all his apps. And that's one person. And think about all the people that are doing that. It's like they would rather, their portfolio's down 80, 90%. They'd rather just, all right, I'm done. I don't want to pay. Then rather than pay attention, move the portfolio around, figure out what else to invest in. So the lack of education, lack of excitement. And I don't know whose fault is that. Maybe it's our politicians' fault. But excuse me. I want to continue with Sam. Shadow Demon said, crypto is all a scam. Get out while you can.
Yeah, scam.
Yeah.
What's up, Shadow Demon? Hola. A couple other new people in the chat as well. We got Ox Spence, James F, Mike Reinhardt, Joshua Scott, OMG, Olav. We got Stick for Vondo, Diamond Hands, The Right, Ray G, Deep Reese, Beachhead, Bobby Black. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Guys, do us a favor. We're at a 20% like ratio here. Do you not like the show? Do you not like the hot takes? Do you not like the interesting Twitter?
Do you not like hot baths?
What you like?
Yeah. Like the video. Come on. So, yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let's stay on this FTX hearing news. So we have some bullet points, just some highlights of the meeting here. So top executives at FTX had free reign over the company's many entities, which, even though Sam said that wasn't the case, we all knew that was true. There were no distinctions between FTX, Alameda, and other entities like FTX US, like FTX Japan, like LedgerX, and everything else. This is a quote from Mr. Ray. It's really unprecedented in terms of the lack of documentation. He called this a paperless bankruptcy. He also went on to say, what we're seeing now is that the crypto assets for both FTX.com and FTX US were housed in the same database. He said there was no independent board and no coherent record keeping. This has got to be one of the biggest, what do you even call this? A debacle? Do you call it, what would you label this?
I think, you know what? The gentleman at the hearing, what's the CEO's name?
John Ray.
John Ray.
The third.
The third?
John Ray the third.
Long line of John Rays. All right. So is that he's just saying that it was sloppy as far as management. It wasn't some giant conspiracy. He just said it was just embezzlement at its finest and at its core. They just took assets, people's money, and they spent it. And there weren't some kind of crazy layers of sophistication. It was pretty simple. They took money and they spent it. And so I know a lot of us thought that, at least from my first impressions, was that the complexity and the layers of FTX and how how many different shadow donations they have, and behind the scenes with politicians as far as who they're working with, SEC bribes, all the at the end of the day, the dude just used QuickBooks. They didn't track any of their funds, and it was just a bunch of college students is kind of the vibe. A bunch of college students just looking for just mismanaging money, man. That's essentially what it broke down to, man.
I'm sorry. Ivalov said it's a dough buckle.
A dough buckle? Talking about the creepy dough?
Creepy dough.
Creepy dough.
1 point for you, Ivalov. That was good. That was funny. Our community's funny, man. I like it. All right. So let's continue moving forward here, guys, because we're not done yet. Here you go. So he also, John Ray III also went on to say, quote, ultimately, we will look to sell Ledger X and put it in the hands of a good steward. So looks like they're starting to liquidate some of the assets and companies. Money, including customer funds, flowed freely between FTX and Alameda Research, which we already knew. John Ray also said in one instance, he, referring to Sam Bankman-Fried, signed as both the issuer of the loan and the recipient of the loan. Sam Bankman-Fried, from Alameda to FTX, he was the one sending the money and he was the one receiving the money. He signed
I'm curious, like, did he like probably took a piece of paper and like wrote at the top. He's like,
so
loan
sorry.
application. He's like,
Oh.
and then he passed it to himself. He's like, all right, name Sam Bankman. You need any social? Yeah, go ahead, put that down there. Okay.
Bro, like, okay, if we're over here laughing like we are, imagine what this John Ray guy, as he's uncovering this evidence, like, he's probably thinking, like, what in God's green earth is going on here? How did no one see this? How did, like, I'm sorry, man, but that.
They use QuickBooks, bro. They use a $99 software
He signed as the
to
issuer
manage
of the
manage
loan
$80 billion worth of
and the
of assets.
recipient of the loan. Hey, David, what's up, David? I need a loan. How much you need, David? $5 million. All right, I got you, bro. Okay, let's get back.
My
here.
opinion. This guy is an idiot completely. All these guys has a set of balls that are big like an elephant.
That's
Because
a
I
good
don't
point,
understand.
Rocco.
I don't
He's
understand.
got the set of body. This is big.
The mozzarella balls.
bigger.
Yeah, freaking those
I don't
big,
understand it,
those
man.
big.
Caciocavallo.
I was like, I'm honestly at a point where I don't even know what to say but to laugh. Like, to me, that's a joke.
You
right?
named an arena FTX. You had a Super Bowl commercial, and with what was the guy's name? The Super Bowl commercial celebrity. No, that was Crypto.com. But anyways, yeah, Super Bowl commercial. Larry David, and
Where he says FTX.
and you're using. I still can't get past. You're using $100 QuickBooks software. How much you pay for the commercial? And you're using a $999 freaking $999 QuickBook.
Thank you to who super chat us, Rocco? It was Cryptologica. Logia. 199 super chat. Thank you so much. Said I think he used a free version of QuickBooks. I heard he actually paid the $299.
Guys.
So the
Take a look.
Jimmy.
Take a look here. So you have the simple start at $15 a month here.
That's the one.
This is also known as the FTX package, the Desktop Premier Plus. So or $100 a month you can manage up to $80 billion worth of assets.
Guys, I want to make something very clear. If you're watching our show and you have money on FTX, we're not making a lot of situation. It's just so ridiculous that, like, I don't have any other emotion to express, right? I've already expressed anger. You look at this, you don't believe it. You're like, what? And yeah. Let's get back because there's some more stuff here. The Securities Commission of Bahamas. Now, this is the part where it gets a little shady here. Securities Commission of Bahamas took control of the assets in FTX's custody for, quote, safekeeping. The Bahamian authority worked with Sam to mint FTX tokens worth millions of dollars after the bankruptcy filing, which were transferred to the government on November 12th. There was also emails from Sam to the Bahamian Exchange Securities Commission person, I forgot their name, that said, we can open withdrawals for Bahamas residents. If you'd like us to do that, please let us know. This is after they halted all withdrawals. And it goes to the next point. 1,500 Bahamians reportedly withdrew over $100 million after FTX filed for bankruptcy. Now, is this collusion? Is this conspiracy? What is this?
I'd like to know if these individuals, the Bohemian
You think that's why they're
legislators-
so like, yep, we'll arrest him. Yep, we'll extradite him. Yep, you guys take it over. You think that's the case here? Because
Well, here's
Can
the
the
thing.
US
As soon as he
sue
got
Bahamas?
like I said, as soon as he got locked up, as soon as the Bohemian, police arrested him, his lawyers are like, "Yo, they bribed us, man. They were like, yo, print out a bunch of tokens, start printing tokens, give us money." And obviously, he was quiet about that. And the funny thing is that's illegal on its own. From that. For Sam Bankman-Fried, so not only did he have the bankruptcy, and he's over here saying, "I'm sorry, I wish I could go back. I want to make everything right." This is per Sam and his interview fiasco with all the different interviews he went on, and he's so apologetic, and still he's committing crimes. He's trying to embezzle and stay out of trouble by printing more tokens after the bankruptcy to pay off the Bohemian government. Like, his interviews are so full of crap, bro. And if you believe a single word this man says, it's not mismanagement. The dude is he's a criminal, man. He's a fraudster. He's a cheat. And given any opportunity to break the law for his own personal benefit, he will. No doubt about it.
And you know what's funny is this article just printed 10 minutes ago. The Bahamian regulator accuses John Ray of misstatements. And of course, they're referring to the comment he made about the Bahamas and minting tokens. Securities Commission of the Bahamas has accused John Ray of making misstatements in order to advance questionable agendas. John Ray said...
Can you make that a little bigger?
Yeah.
Can't see it.
They're saying he intentionally made these to advance questionable agendas. I mean, what reason would this dude have coming in here to make bull crap up about the Bahamas? He doesn't even care about crypto. He doesn't give a crap. Right? I mean, what motivation would John Ray have to lie that the Bahamas government did what they're accused of doing? Think about it. What benefit would he have to lie? What does he get out of it? Can anyone answer that question for me? Now, look on the other hand. If it's true, what do the Bahamian government and the people have to gain from it? So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the guy that is literally just there to find out what happened, if he comes out, especially at a congressional hearing, and says, "Hey, this is what happened," under oath, why would he make it up? Like you said, like, there's really no reason. If anything, there's so much crap that happened there that he doesn't need to make stuff up, right?
Right.
There's no shortage of fraud, conspiracies, crap software that you're using to manage your books. Like, there's no shortage of attention-grabbing headlines that you could easily point to: failure here, failure here, failure here. He by no means needs to add stuff up and make things up to make his case. His case is so open and shut and easy to point the finger and be like, yeah, this company is absolute dog crap. And why would he make it up? He doesn't need to. You don't need to. That's like having some degen in your family member that steals and is always up to no good and borrowing money. And it's like, you don't need to make stuff up about him. Just tell stories. Be like, "Hey, man, remember that time he messed up Christmas?" You don't need to go make stuff up. He's already degenerate. Or she. Whoever. Everybody got one degen in the fam. So.
Who's that in your family, Robin?
Myself.
I was going to say, yeah. I was hoping you'd say, "I don't know," because then I was like, well, then it's you, my friend.
Yeah.
So I want to cover some. So I'm picking up some articles here that are kind of coming up last minute. This one, kind of interesting. Robinhood could be the latest casualty of the FTX collapse, says Citigroup. This is kind of big news. Now, if you remember, what's the tie between Robinhood and FTX? Well, if you remember, Sam owns 7.6% of Robinhood. He did buy the shares. Now, Citi, they downgraded the stock from buy to neutral. And they said, quote, we see a mixed outlook from here, given potential headline risk from upcoming SEC market structure proposals, a cautious equity market outlook, and potential fallout from FTX impacting crypto trading revenues and the customer base. Is this a valid point? Can something like Robinhood or just anything that Sam touched or talked about, could they be in trouble?
I mean, it's concerning. And not to mention that Robinhood was so heavily invested in crypto. Yes, people use it to buy and sell stocks, but I don't know what their breakdown is of profits and earnings, but I remember looking it over, and their platform is heavily dependent on crypto. So if you're already down 80% there, and not to mention just volume and trading and stocks in general are down as well. And if you were to just all of a sudden be leveraged, have money invested or stored, or maybe some of those cryptos that are customers' assets were stored there. Now, Robinhood came out and they said, hey, our assets were not on FTX, but I don't know. At this point, I don't believe anybody. And so could there be a contagion effect? Could a company that is way down from their all-time highs mismanage money and be at a loss here because they entrusted some of their assets or wealth with FTX? I think it's likely. So, especially if Sam Bankman-Fried owns 7% of a company, I mean, you don't. It's a big chunk, man. Was it FTX? Well, was it Sam Bankman-Fried or FTX that owned Robinhood?
That owned what?
The Robinhood.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was Sam Bankman-Fried, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He probably signed on behalf of himself to give it to himself.
Yeah, I mean, if he's issuing out loans for himself, I'm sure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably use customer funds to buy that 7.6% share.
Yeah.
Moron.
Oh, 100%.
All right, let's get into CPI numbers, and then we're going to talk Binance. Rob, CPI came in 7 point.
CPI.
7 point?
CPI till you die. All right, let's take a look here.
7.1.
All right, so this is the breakdown, and this is from the Department of Labor Statistics, or Bureau of Labor Statistics. So 7.1 is the
Headline
inflation, and then I'm gonna kind of give you a full breakdown here of all the different categories. You got food at 10%, which is actually down from where it was last month. Food at home 12%. Cereal and baked goods still quite high. This is because the supply chain issues have been disrupted with a lot of the Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah, I was going to say, what would bring those down is the Ukraine war being over.
Food away from home is also down as well from where it was last month. Energy still sitting pretty high. This has retraced a little bit, but fuel and oil got as high as 100% a couple months ago. Basically a 2x from where it was a year ago. But so everything's coming down. This is a big one, man. Look at this. Used cars and trucks at negative 3.3%. So we are finally starting to see what people are deeming as the Carmageddon, where the overinflated prices that we were paying in cars are now starting to come back. Now, I was always in the camp that this is what we're going to start seeing in the overall CPI. Because the CPI came in so high earlier this year, as high as 9.1%. And I think that if you were to take that high from earlier this year, I forget what month it was, and then you were to go to that exact month a year from then, I think we'll actually print a negative CPI number, which will be very interesting. Now,
And guys,
if that plays out.
Guys, we're going to have a full breakdown as far as which of these categories Jerome Powell and the Fed are looking at in our FOMC special tomorrow. We're going to start it off tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm telling you guys, you do not want to miss tomorrow's show. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We got Garrett Soloway and Magic Internet Money joining.
And here is this is the core. This is the core inflation here, 6%. And that's also down as well. So
month over month, it's still up a little bit, but year over year.
And then just to kind of highlight a couple numbers, just to for corresponding here. So this is the this is down from 7.7 last month. So 7.1, and
The forecast was 7.3.
7.3 was the forecasted rate. So it came in under expectations. And then this is once again down from 9.1 from earlier this year. And as you can see in the stock market world, everything's in the green. You know what? We were actually at 4% this morning. So little pullback there in the market. But that's why also we're seeing this rally. This positive number would explain why we're seeing a rally in crypto overall. So Bitcoin at 17.7. And just to show you like how long it's been since we were at this level. I mean, it's been well over a month, and you have to go back to November 8th to November 8th was the last time that we were above this number. So well over a month, and November 8th was the FTX collapse. So just to put it in perspective, so
Traditional markets haven't really moved a lot, man.
they opened. They were looking positive. This
They look
month,
good,
but-
yeah.
I mean, this morning.
Nasdaq's up only 1%. It's S&P's up 0.5%. Dow Jones is even. Thought we'd see a bigger rally in the markets, but maybe. What does this tell you, though? Right? If we see project 7.3, come in 7.1, we're 0.6 less than what we were year over year last month, and the markets aren't really reacting. Does that mean that they already know 50's coming and tomorrow the markets aren't going to react anyways? Or what is that telling you? If you're an investor and you see this kind of price action on a day where CPI comes in lower than expected and you got a Fed meeting tomorrow and we don't really see that much volatility in the market, what's your thinking there, Rob?
Well, I think CPI is trending down. I think we printed an all-time high, right? We're not gonna print a 10%, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So
Unless China
probably
goes on lockdown
yeah.
again.
So we are trending down, and eventually we're gonna get to the 2-3%, and eventually the Fed will pivot. There's no, I don't.
You see a pivot in 2023?
Yeah.
I'm talking a pivot
Yeah.
to like
And
cut,
it goes-
pivot cut rates.
Yeah. And it goes back to what I was saying. The all-time high. When was this 9.1?
June.
Was it June?
Yeah.
So I say June because it was so high. And remember when the used cars 1 year ago were costing more than the new cars? And you're like, yo, this is so crazy. It's bonkers. And now we see that the price is retraced. You're printing a negative number. And June, I'm telling you, the energy issue is going to be resolved, or at least relief, because they're in Europe. They're building the infrastructure. Obviously, the infrastructure takes a while to build out, but they're making partnerships. They're buying from different places. And so the partnerships are growing. The reliance and the dependency of energy from Russia, as far as natural gas, is shifting. And I think that prices will balance out on energy commodities. I think we're already seeing it in the car market. I think the housing market is pulling back. What's very interesting is that the PPI, which is the producer price index that follows the price of wholesale goods, so the cost that Walmart's paying for their inventory from the assembly lines, that went up. And the CPI and the core number went down. So what does that tell you? It's housing, bro. It's housing. You know, the cost of, because what are your two biggest bills? Your car payment, your house payment. And that is irregardless of what it costs for groceries at the grocery store. It's irregardless of what Walmart is charging. Your biggest bill is your home and travel. And your home and travel has gotten substantially cheaper. And so, yeah, I'm excited, man. I think we turned a corner. I think we bottomed. I think that the markets, the traditional markets have bottomed. And now here's my question: is even though if the traditional markets have bottomed, there might still be exposure contagion from this FTX thing. And so if another big player goes under, then
what if Silvergate goes under?
Here's an interesting one. Take a look at this. We were talking about it this morning. So you have Rand from what was it, Crypto Banter? He came out. He says so far nearly $5 billion has been withdrawn from Binance today. Not a good day.
Today,
$5 billion.
Yeah.
11 billion in Tether. 10 billion in Binance, or Binance Coin.
BNB.
Is that BNB or is that, yeah?
It's either BNB or BUSD.
Probably a mixture of the two.
There's no way it's BUSD. It's BNB.
Yeah, you're right.
It has to be BNB.
Bitcoin 9 billion out. Wrapped Ethereum 6 billion. USDT 2 billion. That's crazy. Do you have that? What was it? Dylan LeClaire tweet. I don't. It's kind of speculative.
You're talking about the text message?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of speculative, and so I wouldn't put too much merit into it. But I just want you to know what the sentiment is of the market right now, and is there a possibility for the contagion spread as far as big companies or exchanges going under? I don't think it's likely. I think it's highly unlikely. But there is a realistic possibility that Binance could be in some hot water, insolvency issues, whatever it is. And at this point, nothing would surprise me, man.
You know, what are your thoughts? So yesterday on Around the Blockchain, the majority, right, were like, oh, I'm not worried, CZ, not worried about him, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like I was the only one pushing back a little bit. What were your thoughts on that? Do you think we're overreacting to everything, or you think it's warranted that we kind of, look through a different lens?
I mean, I question everything at this point. Anybody I think is beneficial to the space, I mean, you question everything, man. Because the people that we enshrined as, hey, the leaders and the people that are building in our space, the heroes of crypto, the people that are putting crypto on their back. Time and time again, man, these people have fallen on some bad images lately. You got Sam Bankman-Fried, you got Alex Mashinsky, you got Do Kwon, you got what's the guy from Three Arrows?
Kyle Davies,
yeah.
Suzu.
Yeah, it's just at this point, I always kind of bring it back to my love life growing up, Okay. And you date, 6 cheerleaders, and they all batshit crazy.
You ain't dating 6 cheerleaders. You couldn't even date
And
one,
I'm just
bro.
saying that you come across number 7.
Yeah, we know. No, it's more than 5.
No. Anyways, what else you got?
Okay, so I was actually going to cover the Binance thing. That's what we're going to talk about next. But the article I had pulled up said 2 billion in 24 hours.
No, it's even more now.
Yeah. So, but still some pertinent information in there. So, of course, big withdrawals. A lot of it impacted ETH and ERC20 tokens. The uncertainty accelerated after Binance, the CEO, announced the exchange was temporarily halting the withdrawals of USDC, citing a token swap issue. This is what he had to say about it. On USDC, we have seen an increase in withdrawals. However, the channel to swap from PAX/BUSD to USDC requires going through a bank in New York in US dollars. The banks are not open for another few hours. We expect the situation will be restored when the banks open. To which a lot of people drew comparisons to what Sam said in his tweet right before FTX went under, compared to what he's saying. And then this is what we got from Mr. Dylan LeClaire. This was on. Now, of course, guys, this is information. This is just what he was told. We're sharing it. We're not saying Binance is going under. We're not trying to spread FUD. We've been on this narrative. Custody your own stuff, no matter what, whether it's Binance, Coinbase, anything. Custody your own crypto. And so this is information. You know, we feel like it might merit something, so we're going to share it with you. So he got this. He got this DM or text message saying execs are bailing institutional jump. Blah, blah. So I'll just make this bigger so we can read it. So this is from I believe a friend of his, Arch Public. Let's see what Arch Public is. Founder of financial blah 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 blah. It's a financial services company in New York. So pretty sure they have some information that we're not maybe prone or proxy to, but said let people know to get their funds off Binance. Use my tweet if you want, or create your own. People need to know. Executives are bailing. Institutional, which they reference Jump Capital. They're fleeing and charges are coming. Just a heads up that a bunch of Binance stories are going to hit the tape this week. Reporters hitting me up constantly. Said they've confirmed leadership losses. Accounting contacts have serious issues with their proof of reserves. No reporter can confirm or identify the parent or ownership structure of Binance. Can't track down a meaningful list of executives beyond CZ. So I don't know. You want to... I don't know, Rob.
I feel like I ate a bunch of bad Thai food, bro. My stomach's upset, bro. And I don't mean physically, man. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, what have we said over and over again after things break? Like, oh, man, the signs were there. We didn't pay attention to them, man. It was obvious. Like, you know, how did we not notice? How did we not see this? You feel me, man? I mean, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to say it, but it just don't look good, bro.
We know that proof. Okay, so just to break that down, we know the proof of reserves thing was
mismanaged. First of all, here's the thing: if you're gonna come out and address your proof of reserves, you're gonna be all high and mighty, like, "Hey, here's our proof of reserves. This is what we're doing." Nobody asked you for it, or at least not And if not a Congress, not a court, you weren't mandated to do it. So you come out here, you give a half-ass proof of reserves, which, by the way, they were 3% off. 3% is a pretty big damn number. If you're to add up all the Bitcoin they have, all their crypto assets, they were a whole of 3%.
They counted negative balances, and there was no liabilities.
And so, if you're going to come out and be like, yo, here's our proof of reserves, at least freaking do it right, man. Because there's no reason you needed to send it out there. You're trying to get this, like, you know, favorable PR move by saying, hey, here's our proof of reserves, and you half-ass it, bro. It's not a good look.
You know, that kind of reminds me, Rob. I got to find this tweet from Justin's son.
Okay, while you look for the tweet, let me just give a little love to the chat here. We got a few new people in the chat. So if you're new, say hello so that way we can drop an hola. Let's get over to the 200 viewers. We're almost there. We're going to set club limit at 250. That's our new club limit, by the way. And if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, you'll see what happens when we get to 250. All right, so we got Fred V, Darren Orange, Bitcoinski, Arubi Asu. We got Charlie Mack, Castaway, K Daddy, Rurik, Dean Jennings. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
What do you think about this, Robin? Do you think this is weird?
What's up?
Justin's son tweeted yesterday, I just deposited 100 million USD into Binance. With all these withdrawals going on.
This guy, man, he's always up to no good, bro. You want to talk about a shady character? That's him.
And then
we've heard some stories about this guy.
Yeah.
Whew.
And
we went to some conventions and we've heard some hey man, you know what Justin Sun did at this
I've
party?
done my own research on the guy.
That dude is creepy, bro. You want to talk about I'm just letting you know, man. Outside of his finances,
Here's what I
that's
don't.
a weird ass dude, bro.
Here's what I don't. Here's part of the reason I
Creepy
don't.
dough.
Creepy dude.
Creepy son.
You're gonna
Creepy
do a,
son.
Here's part of the reason that I have a hard time kind of not believing but trusting this guy. The whole USDD thing, right? It's collateralized 200%, but it's been off its peg for weeks. Well, maybe not weeks, but it's been off its. It's been
weeks.
off its peg more than it's been on.
You
want to
know? You want to know how long it's been off? It's been off for a while.
But what I want to know is if you're 200% collateralized against your stable coin, and maybe I'm ignorant and I just don't understand it. But if you're 200% over collateralized, how is it off the peg for this long?
It's been off the peg since October 19th. It came off. Okay, if you want to say 99 cent, 99 points. Okay, we can go from 99 points.
Say over a month.
So
Over
this
a
was
month.
November 7th. It fell all the way down to 97 cents. This is supposed to be a stable coin. This is supposed to be $1. It's not $1.
But does that make sense? Does that make sense that it's over? He said it. 200% collateralized, right? Over collateralized on USDD. Then why has it been off its peg for so long? Is there something I'm missing here? Am I missing something, or is that not the whole point
Shady ass
of
dude, man.
being collateralized? Back to the 100 million though. Isn't that weird?
What was 100 million? I lost track for a second. Oh yeah,
It was not a donation.
Yeah, the 100 million that
donation.
moved. Yeah, it's not a donation.
Yes, it was a donation.
Is it? Yes.
Was it?
No, but Rocco's saying if they go under, it'll be a donation.
Yeah, you can donate and then you get a tax relief.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Your tax
Here
return.
it is, right here. Here's his tweet. Rocco, pull it up. Here's his tweet. In case anyone asks about USDD, it is 200% collateralized ratio. So then why is it off its peg? Why is it off its peg? But yeah, he tweeted he put a deposit $100 million on a Binance.
You say dump. You say dump.
I don't know, man, but if you remember, Robin, we've seen the people that are the most vocal when stuff hits the fan are usually the ones that are in trouble, right? Kind of what we've seen.
If you fall down and hurt your leg, you got boo-boo on your knee. And the second you fall down, instead of somebody trying to help you up, somebody's like, ah, that guy's a piece of crap. Right?
Well, that's not where I'm
just
getting. I
saying,
guess where I was getting to is if you remember CZ after the whole thing with FTX
Luna.
went down, he was the first person that come out and say we should do proof of reserves.
Yeah. And also, he was tweeting interesting things right before the Terra Luna collapse. A lot of people were pointing the finger at him having an involvement there. Wouldn't surprise me if there was both FTX and also Justin Sun trying to gain the system in some shape, some way or form. Who knows? But perhaps he had a hand to play in there as well.
Close to 50,000 Bitcoin has left Binance in the last 24 hours.
50,000 Bitcoin, huh?
50,000 BTC in the last 24 hours has left Binance. Everything else is
I
in
just
the
want to
green.
tell you that even though we might get a lot of viewers, whatever, the last thing I want to do is make a thumbnail that says Binance went under, bro.
Yeah.
That's
I agree.
literally the last thing I want to do, and have some emergency stream. And like I said, man, it's highly unlikely.
Do you think?
Don't think it's realistic.
Okay, but the criminal charges, right, with Binance, does that worry you? I'm sure that's part of the reason why people
Department
are
of
withdrawing, right?
Justice. So Department of Justice was investigating Binance.
We talked about this on Around the Blockchain yesterday.
Yeah.
It stems from 2020. They requested documents about the inner workings of Binance, about internal communication, and about their anti-money laundering and KYC. And I guess now, about half of the people on the case think they have enough evidence to bring, not a probe, criminal charges against CZ and Binance. You have Gary Gensler coming out and saying, we are actively going for other crypto exchanges. I don't know, man. I think it's risky to have your money on exchanges right now. If you're going to have money on there, guys, only have what you're willing to lose. So that way, if you wake up and something happens, God forbid, you're not stressing out. You can still pay your bills. You can still buy your kids a Christmas present.
Are you gonna DCA if you can keep your money in the exchange?
Instead of let's say you do it once a day, maybe do it once a week, and as soon as it goes in, just withdraw it.
Okay.
Or do a week behind, do smaller amounts, do different. I don't know.
It's getting a little
use
difficult.
You can always buy but if you got the money and you're trying to DCA, you can buy, let's say, 1 ETH, send it to a MetaMask, and if you're buying ERC20 tokens, just swap on Uniswap every week or whatever. I get it, it's not convenient, guys, but right now, nothing's convenient. The second largest exchange filing for bankruptcy is not convenient. People losing money is not convenient. Binance going through what they're going through is not convenient. So we're just gonna have to weather the storm. And if you're worried about crypto going away or going to zero, guys, please remember, even if absolute worst case scenario, let's say Binance goes under, which I'm not saying they are. That's not even close to what we saw with Mt. Gox as far as the stranglehold they had on the Bitcoin, just the crypto exchange market back in 2013, 2014. So if we can withstand Mt. Gox and come back stronger than ever, I think we can withstand literally anything because the technology doesn't change, blockchain doesn't change.
And a quick question from the chat too. So if Binance goes down, is Trust Wallet be safe?
I think so. There's Trust Wallet. Let me backtrack.
What do you think about
Because I have Trust Wallet. I use Trust Wallet. I have money on Trust Wallet.
do you know who I do trust? Is Jim Cramer.
Oh,
Jim Cramer, he says we like Coinbase at $475 and not buying Coinbase at $41.
okay.
Guy's a clown. This guy's an absolute clown.
This guy, man. Dude.
Yeah. All right. I believe there's a couple more things I want to talk about. Oh, so Cynthia Lumis, if you're not familiar with her, she is the senator from Wyoming, champion of crypto. Well, maybe not so much crypto anymore, but more Bitcoin. She says she's still very comfortable with Bitcoin in retirement plans, sourced from Cointelegraph. Senator Cynthia Lummis has remained steadfast in her support for Bitcoin as part of a diversified retirement plan, despite calls from her Senate peers to denounce Bitcoin and say that people should not invest in it as a retirement vehicle. She said, I'm very comfortable with making sure that people can include Bitcoin in their retirement funds because it's just different than other cryptocurrencies. But she also said the jury's still out on other cryptocurrencies. If we lose, Robin, she's walked back on Ethereum being a commodity statement. She said, well, after FTX went down, she said, well, maybe it's just Bitcoin that's a commodity. If we lose people like Cynthia Lummis from our corner and the SEC gets the full green light to regulate everything outside of Bitcoin, what are some of the implications that we can see in the market?
I don't think we're going to lose Cynthia Lummis when it comes to Bitcoin.
No, Bitcoin fine, but the rest of the crypto market.
Yeah, well, I think she already left that boat, man. You don't think so? I don't think she's pro crypto. Yeah, I mean, she's not pro crypto. And so it's all Bitcoin or nothing, man. The scary thing for me is if she decides to bring forward legislation that stifles innovation and stifles crypto in general, however, they just simply put Bitcoin in a commodity box and say, you're good, everything else we're going to regulate and we're going to stifle innovation. Because you know what? Bitcoin doesn't have NFTs. They have color coins technically, but realistically, Bitcoin doesn't have NFTs. Bitcoin does not have smart contracts. Bitcoin, and you can always say, hey, you can add transactions, you can add smart contracts on top of the Bitcoin network and leverage it as security. That's trash. That idea is trash. You're just putting centralized entities on top. So whatever decentralization that you claim you have all gets lost when you build on top of the layer 1 is a layer 2. So I'm just kind of nervous, man. Are you also nervous? I mean, because she's one of the people that's advocating for
CFTC to look over.
And I'm telling you, if there's going to be 2 boxes, and box A is Bitcoin, box B is everything else, I'm afraid that we're going to get legislation that protects box A and just poops all over box B. Kind of worried. Also, I do want to, we forgot to give a shout out. We got Jimmy gifted out 10 gifted memberships.
The hype man, Sin City hype man in the house.
We got loads of Jimmy up in here. Also, we got a couple new people. We got WDX40. We got Ali's, Dean Diener, Rudy, and Royson. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. What else we got?
Sean was texting me. Sean. Let's take a look at the crypto markets. We have the this is Coin Market Cap, by the way. We have 867 billion in market cap. Volume is at 54 billion, kind of pretty low. Bitcoin dominance under 40%. ETH dominance at 18.6%. Bitcoin up 4% over the last 24 hours. Of course, this is on the heel of the CPI numbers. Ethereum up 5% over 1,300 currently. XRP 3.4%. Now the rumor Charles was talking about is there's going to be I don't want to say a settlement, but an ending to the to the Ripple SEC case on Thursday. I feel like if that was true, we'd see a little more volatility. What do you think? Just looking at price.
I mean the timeline is lining up. I know we've always kind of talked about it in the past, like, hey, could see a resolution by the end of the year, come December, maybe January. So there were I forget the terminology, but some of the XRP experts have been calling for the end of the the final closing arguments, I guess it is.
Judgment.
Yeah.
They want judgment to be passed.
Yeah. So
and then kind of just going back to the rest of the markets, Dogecoin, Cardano, and Polygon Matic round out the top 10 with Polkadot sitting at $5. Is Polkadot ever going to do anything? I don't know. I said the same thing about Litecoin, and look at them now. They're number 13, coming in at $5.56 billion market cap, only $2.5 billion away from the number 10 spot.
Well, you got to think they were number 2, and then they were in the top 5, and then they were in the top 10, and now as time moves forward, the ecosystem doesn't, and so you're slowly losing value, at least compared to the other top projects. And I think that's what's going to happen with a lot of cryptos. And so you can look at Litecoin and draw comparisons with other projects. And as interest in those projects leave, and as they don't evolve and make partnerships and build, money will go elsewhere, and people will leave their positions and move into other assets. So
interesting. And then the biggest winners over the last 24 hours, we have Toncoin, which is Telegram's coin, OKB, and Lido. And as far as the biggest losers, another stable coin, right? Was this not a stable coin that completely depegged?
yeah, Neutrino.
Was that a stable coin?
Yeah, that was a algorithmic one a long time ago.
Shocker. Yeah, that was a stable coin. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not so stable, huh? Terrible. And then some of the other biggest losers, we have GMX, ApeCoin, and Kava, and also PancakeSwap as well. All right, guys, that'll do it for the show today. You're gonna want to come tomorrow. We are starting an hour early, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We flipped the show completely upside down, all FOMC. We're going to talk. There's going to be so many charts, information, data, videos, content. We got Gareth Soloway, Magic Internet Money. It's going to be the best FOMC coverage on YouTube. You do not want to miss it. 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure to join us. Also, check out our merch store. Everyone gets 10% off. If you're a whale member, you get 15% off. Also, follow us on Twitter, please, at Sin City Crypto 1. And then check out the rest of our content on our YouTube channel. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe.
Also, shout out to Crypto Conundrum and Crypto Fuse. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. That's it.
Friends, family, friends, and family of friends. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this one day before FOMC meeting live stream. On behalf of myself, Robin, the Don, and Kyler Murray, we love you guys. We will see you tomorrow. We are pumped tomorrow. We'll see you then. Peace.